today we will commence with our new poem, that is A Tiger in the Zoo, and it is written by Leslie Norris. So this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo in his cage with the tiger in its natural habitat. So the poet has compared the activities of a tiger in a zoo with the tiger in the natural habitat. So the poet says that the tiger with its bright stripes walks silently on his soft velvet paws in the cage. So the description begins from the zoo and moves to the jungle. After a thorough study of its natural habitat, it moves back again to the zoo. So let's see about the introduction of this poem. So the poem written by Leslie Norris explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger that lives in a zoo. The poet explained what his life could be if he had been a free animal. The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. So let's see about the paragraph. So the first paragraph is, he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. So stalk means follows, vivid, vivid means bright colored, and pad means paws of tiger, and rage means anger. So he stalks in his vivid stripes. So he represents here about the tiger. So the tiger in the zoo walks in the limited space provided to it in the cage. The few steps of his cage, it means it takes a few steps and there are stripes on its body which are quite prominent, means noticeable. So third line, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Rage means anger, or velvet means soft. So its paws are soft like velvet. No noise is produced when it walks on its pads of velvet. So the tiger is silent but in rage, means but in anger. Let's see about the second paragraph. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. So he should be lurking in shadows. Now the poet suggests that the cage is not the proper place for the tiger. So he should be lurking in the shadow. Lurking means hiding. Sliding through the long grass. Sliding means moving. Near the water hole means a river where animals come to drink. And plump deer means young deer. So he said that he should be lurking in shadows. So now the poet suggests that the cage is not a proper place for tiger. So it is not its natural habitat. So the tiger in the cage is a victim of human cruelty. Or usually tigers are found sitting under some bushes or some long grass near a stream or the water hole. As soon as they see their prey, like deer, coming there to drink water, they slide silently through the grass and kill them. So the poet wants to convey to us that this tiger should be there in the forest, in its natural habitat, not in the cage. Let's see about the third stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So he should be snarling. Snarling means showing the teeth around houses at the jungle's edge. Jungle's edge means here border of the forest. Bearing his white fangs. Bearing means showing. His white fangs. White fang means white teeth. Terrorizing the village. Terrorizing means frightening the villagers. So he should be snarling around houses. So the poet proceeds further, giving another suggestion that the tiger should be sitting at the jungle's edge in close boundaries of the village, and it should be terrorizing the people passing that way by showing its sharp teeth, baring its claws, and producing low sound of anger. Paragraph number 4. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So, but he locked in a concrete cell. Concrete cell means here cemented, or cell means cage. His strength behind the bar. Behind bar means cage, or you can say that locked. Stalking the length of his cage. Stalking means walking and ignoring the visitors. So, in this stanza, the poet expresses deep sympathy at the unpleasant situation of the tiger that is imprisoned in a cell made of concrete, means mixed with the material like cement, sand, or you can say that the small pieces of stone and water. So he cannot come out of it because strong bars fixed at the concrete cell stop him. So thus the poet says that the tiger's strength is locked behind the bars, and the tiger shows no interest in looking at the visitors. Rather, he keeps on stalking, means walking in angry and the proud manner in the limited space that has provided by the, you can say that, the zoo people of the cage. Next paragraph, paragraph number 5. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars means to guard or to vigil, or you can say that the police cars. And stares means look angrily, or brilliant means bright, glorious. So he hears the last voice at night. The poet again takes the reader to the cage where the tiger is sitting in the cage and feeling unpleasant and restless. He hears the sound created by the patrolling cars of the zoo authorities, and he shows no interest in them. The poet shown him staring at the shining stars with his brilliant eyes. So thus the poem ends up at the point where it had started. So the poet raises a moral issue here, that he intends to present a strong case against the cruelty on animals which are kept in cages. So let's see about the question answer of this poem. How does the tiger walk in the cage? How does the tiger walk in the cage? So the tiger in the cage walks in a proud manner. His movement is quiet, but his eyes show that he is very angry at having been imprisoned in a cage. But he is helpless and can't do anything for his freedom. Question number 2. What does the poet say about a tiger in his natural surroundings? So the poet says a jungle is the natural habitat for a tiger, and here he moves proudly and fearlessly in the long grass near a water body, and he hides in an ambush to hunt the prey like a plump deer for his food. Question number 3. Why does the tiger express his rage quietly? The tiger expresses his rage quietly because there is nothing he can do from behind the bars of his cage, and he is helpless as his strength now lies inside the cage, and he is no longer free as he was in the jungle. Question number 4. Is it right to confine wild animals into cages? Why or why not? So, it is up to you. I want to ask the questions from you students, that is it right to confine wild animals into cage? So, wild animals are meant to live in the wild, as the name is already here, that wild animals. So it means that they have to live in the wild. They are not meant to be caged or displayed in the zoo. And we all know that the majestic species of tiger is on the verge of the extinction. So there used to be a time when they used to roam proudly and freely in the jungle. Question number 5. What does the poet convey through the poem? It is very important question that what does the poet convey through the poem? So the poem tries to expose the miserable life led by the animals in the zoo, and he compares the life of the tiger in the zoo with its natural habitat or with its natural life. So the animals have the right to freedom and should not be caged. So they should be allowed to run free in the wild. I hope students that you have got the idea about this poem.